Hi everyone, here's a tyre deg run in the Formula 3. I haven't actually done any race laps at all in it, so I've put in race fuel. It's not that bad. Don't understand what people are whinging about. So I'll just push on lap 1 like it's a race. Haven't got much in the way of front end. No front end. Still not much front end. I ran a bit more conservative aero. I've got 22 front wing on, I think max rear, which isn't hyper aggressive, but as much as I hate understeer, the way this thing sort of starts to tail through the S-bends at the start of the lap when you've got old tyres, it's just undrivable. So I've got 18 laps of fuel. Now I haven't done any long runs, I've just basically done the time trial runs. I want to see the deck pattern and if it continues to drop off, because after 5 laps this car is bad. The sad thing is that it feels so good on fresh tyres. This has the grip that I've always wanted it to have. It's just so adjustable. You can hold a tight line. Even with full fuel tanks, it's not pushing, but it's stable at the rear. Don't even have to downshift through here. In 5th. Had to have 2 bites at that apex, so that was okay. Even with my plastic brake pedals, I'm not locking. This car used to be very difficult not to get to lock, but now you can just slam the brakes on, it's fine. We're going to be straight into the 49s on race fuel. It's amazing how early you get in the throttle. You're hardly off it. You feel like you're barely even the apex and you're opening the throttle wide. Wide open throttle. Got the grip. Much better through there that time. Only had to turn into the apex once. Great grip through the chicane. lives off the brake really early because you can just throw it in. Starting to feel a little bit of slip angle at the rear through spoon, but not too bad yet. Seems that you have to live with a bit of instability in turn 1 in here on the brakes. It's very hard to dial that out with setup. Just kind of have to deal with it moving when you touch the brakes. I don't mind it so much yet. Front's already starting to go away. Feels noticeably more lethargic. Lap 3. 3 plus the out lap. Had a bit of a wiggle under braking there. I felt to have better brakes to the lap prior. Noticeably less turn through spoon. Having to try and chase the understeer a bit. This setup is towards the understeer focus, so I'll be seeing how the stability is when it degrades. So I've gone from 49.7 to a 56 in 1 lap. It's incredible. Feels more like I'm losing the front than the rear. The car's still well balanced, it's not as nice to drive as it was a few laps ago. Now the lap times are really starting to trail. We're going to be down the 51s this lap. That's 5 laps. The car's still very drivable. It's not going to go to session last lap for the Delta because it's way too far off the optimal now. Front didn't want to come in very cleanly there, so I just let it run a bit of a wide line. Didn't want to force the point. I can feel the back starting to slip under throttle. Some drivers like that. I'm not one of them. It's very uncomfortable. It feels weird. Still a lot of front grip in the slow speed stuff. I'm running 14.5 psi tyres, that's not surprising. Like, don't get me wrong, these lap times are slow, but the deg doesn't feel like it's getting substantially worse. If it levels off around here, that's quite fine. We're actually improving a little bit in certain sectors. So only a 10th worse that lap. Being very careful under the brakes into one. The rear's slipping all through here now, which is amazing because this was quite an understeery set, but having to be really careful on turning. People say you can just let it slip without doing opposite lock. Maybe true, I don't know. So at this point it seems like the tyre drop off is more consistent. It's gone from losing like a second per lap to just a 10th, and even that could just be down to driving. So we've done 8 laps. Slow and steady through there. It's no longer really tracking in a straight line up through the S's. I'm having to kind of counter lock it. I'm not sure if it would spin, but something is telling me that I have to counter steer. That was the moment. I'm not really sure why. I wasn't carrying in too much speed. It just kind of let go at the midpoint of the spoon. So off a lap down the mid 152s. But big error. I think I can get back in the 51s. So it just feels like it's got so much rear slip angle. I'm having to really just not put much steering lock in. I mean, I think it's fine, it just feels uncomfortable.
About 5 laps of fuel left.
Just go till I run out of fuel. Back into the 51s. So you've got to change your driving style in the middle of the race. Now I'm taking narrower lines to not put as much load on the front of the car. Just focusing on being smooth, just gliding it in, smoothly in. When the car gets a bit unstable at Suzuka, sometimes the fastest line is not to jump it over that final apex. You're just better to brake a bit later and bring it in, not touch the curb. Unsettles it less. Gentle on the brakes, not unsettle it. Gentle on the throttle, not reduce under or oversteer. I feel like the car's somehow sort of starting to come back to me. The wheels didn't grip on throttle there. got some other guys coming into the session. So we're trending down 51.666. That's the second time I've done that lap. The lap times are actually starting to trend down. I wonder if I've somehow brought the heat in the tyres back under control. The tyres are coming back. How weird. Back down to a 51.0. So I wonder if by focusing on just not locking them and being smooth, I've somehow brought the carcass temperature down. And therefore I'm getting my grip back. The rear was moving around a bit through there. It also, like, this is a practice session, so the weather's dynamic. It also could be track temp dropping. Seems unusual to drop by 0.6 in one lap though.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
And the 6 gallons I put in was not enough for the race. So how many laps have we done? Close though. Just gotta focus on really early entry, smooth, no overcorrections. Get it into the apex. That's actually a driving style I really like. I like being smooth with the car, so it kind of suits me. it's important to have a car that you feel comfortable with to push. You don't want it tail ending, or at least I don't. I'd prefer it to push a bit on the front than to feel like it's going to spin out through those S-bends every lap. Another mid-50s. 51, sorry. So it was outlap, which was lap 1 in the race, and 13 laps following that. So we originally got down to 49s and the car felt comfortable, and then it quickly dropped off in the 50s, and then it kind of held level in the 51s, kind of going up and down as the tyre temperature fluctuated. That's not that bad. Yeah, it's much slower than the initial laps, but the car actually felt quite balanced. So you want to set your balance up for it to fit this zone and not really worry about this. But if you can be 2 seconds a lap faster than everyone else early on and break away, that's definitely an advantage still. It actually felt pretty stable. If that's representative of what a race run feels like, which I feel it should be, then there's nothing really to worry about there. That was quite drivable. It actually added another element to driving of trying to be smooth and get the tyre temperatures down.